Today we're sharing the 12 essential items we stock every single turnover to ensure 5-star reviews.
Hi, I'm Sarah Karakayan.
And I'm Annette Grant. And together we are
Thanks for visiting.
We've been hosting for well over a decade, welcomed tens of thousands of guests, and earned thousands of 5-star reviews.
Our portfolio continues to bring in over 1.5 million year over year, and supported not only by the industry's leading brands, but also some of the biggest media outlets.
And we're here to help you with your furnished rental. These items that we're gonna go over, they seem so simple. They're all inexpensive, but they are so imperative to a good guest stay. Sometimes they even get overlooked because they are so basic.
We're not just competing against other short-term rentals. You are also competing against hotels even if you have a larger property. So we're not going to pretend that there aren't vacation rentals out there that still tell you to bring the sheets, that tell you to, what else did you have to bring in to that one place?
Well, maybe you only get one trash bag and one roll of paper towels and one roll of toilet paper. That's the worst to check in and have to go to the grocery store immediately after check-in because you know you're going to run out before the night's end.
It's a different era, it's a different age of short-term rentals and vacation rentals, and if you want to compete with the best of the best, we're gonna go through the 12 essentials that we use for every turnover, so from garbage bags to dish soap to everything in between, let's go to it.
Let's get it started with what you've already been hearing me talk about. This is my number one pet peeve, when there is one trash bag in the trash can. I don't know, nothing infuriates me more, so please, these are so inexpensive. You can leave a whole box, you can leave a whole roll. Why would you only give your guests one trash bag? This is all of these items that we're gonna go over too. It's helping the guest take care of your home, your asset. So please remember that when you're thinking of not supplying all of these, it will help the guest keep your home clean. So one trash bag, no way, Jose, you gotta leave a whole roll or a whole box.
All right, item number 2 is the kitchen sponge. Okay, so back in the day when I was first starting up my co-hosting business, I was doing—
This one already makes it kitchen sponges.
I was doing some consulting and helping new hosts get started up, and I was walking into this one host short-term rental. It was turned over, ready for guests, and the sponge, you know how it gets all dried up and still has crumbs and crusties from previous washings, and that was presented to the next guest to use to wash their dishes.
New sponge every time. You got to.
Just order it in bulk.
Order it in bulk.
You could even be listen, I get it. I know that what you're thinking right now is right, but what about
my secret sponge trick?
What
I use at home.
What about expenses, right? What about the cost of supplying all these things? We're not arguing that, but if this is what you're focused on, you could spend your time thinking about maybe how to be able to charge more or increase your occupancy. But Annette here will cut her sponges, I don't even think in half. Not for her guests.
Quarters. That's for me.
For herself. She'll cut them into quarters. So, you do you, but I want you to leave at least one sponge of some sort that is new for each new guest.
And again, going back to even the trash bags, this is sanitary purposes. You want them to be able to scrub the countertops or scrub the dishes. Think about the impact down the line during their stay. So fresh sponge every time. You got this. Next, going along, we're going to stay with that sponge theme.
Number 3.
A full dish soap. All right, you need to leave, not just dish pods, okay? You need to leave a Dawn dish soap, an actual soap that they can wash dishes if they want to. They can wash the sink. So a actual thing of dish soap. Again, I think you can get them for 89 cents sometimes. So super inexpensive. I actually love leaving, a little pro tip here, I like leaving Dawn because Dawn can be used in so many other places in the home or if the guest needs it. I think everyone knows Dawn does their commercial with cleaning the oil off of ducks because it really can be used and there's so many use cases for it. So that's what we prefer to leave.
And there are some things in your kitchen that you don't want them put in the dishwasher. So this, again, going back to Annette's tip of equip your guests to take care of not just your property, but the things you've invested in your property. Okay, going back over our list over here, we got number 4 are the dishwasher detergent pods.
Sticking with the kitchen here. The dishwasher pods, absolutely. I know some people will leave 1 or 2 per stay. Again, we leave a lot for the guests because if you're like me, judge me here, I run my dishwasher every day. You don't know how many guests are going to be there, how much they're going to be cooking. They might be cooking 3 meals. That is a differentiator, and the reason we're really focusing on the kitchen is that is the differentiator from a hotel. It's why a lot of guests are booking your property, so you definitely don't want to leave them having to go to the grocery store to get those basics.
I actually stayed at a hotel that left me 1 dishwasher pod, and there wasn't a grocery store incredibly nearby, and I was booked I had things to do during my stay. So I found they left us 2. So we did the first load of dishes, and that was fine. But then the second one, we loaded up that dishwasher so full, because my husband and I were like,
we don't want to go get the pod.
No.
That's the problem. That's why the trash is going to overflow. That's why the sink is going to overflow. Yeah,
and I will tell you this. So a majority of our rentals are 1 bedrooms, and I will still leave the full thing of dish pods. I'll just buy the full thing of dish pods and leave it in the cupboard. And I went over our expenses, and it is, you guys, it's nominal. Like, don't worry about it. I promise you. All right, what's up next, Annette?
Kitchen still. Salt, pepper, olive oil.
Number 5.
Yeah, number 5 here. You've got to give some basics here if people are going to be cooking, okay? I actually just stayed in a brand new short-term rental not like maybe 3 weeks ago, and that was one of the, we were shopping and we were like, oh, do they have salt and pepper? Do they have olive oil? And I was like, I hope they do. I was crossing my fingers. They actually did, but fun fact here, their baking sheets didn't fit in their oven.
Ooh,
that's just like a fun, because they never cooked there. We went to try to put it in and it was like, oh, those don't fit. They were too big. But salt, pepper, olive oil, at least the basics there to get people started. And this is one of those things too. Know your kitchen. If you have like a chef's kitchen and that's what you're promoting, you might want to have some more kitchen amenities there, but that's for another video.
Is your coffee station. And I said station, so not just coffee. We include, obviously, a coffee maker. And back in the day, I would have said that and we have a whole video on coffee stations.
We have a few coffee videos.
They're actually really popular, so you should go check it out. We'll leave a link in the show notes for our coffee station deep dive. It's really good. But so back in the day, I used to say Keurig, but honestly, these days, I like making sure that I have at least the old school filter pot kind because guests just like it more. And then we include all the fixings. I do. We include the coffee, obviously. We include sugars and both sweeteners, artificial sweeteners.
And those also, you can buy packets that have all 4. They're already mixed. You don't have to buy the individuals. You can get a snack pack, a variety pack. That's what I'm trying to look for.
Pack of sugar.
Of all the sugars.
Creamers. We will offer creamers.
Gotta have decaf. You gotta have tea.
Oh, yeah.
And we also like to add hot chocolate.
Cocoa.
So
number 6 is coffee station supplies. And I'm telling you, the amount of, we'll recap this at the end, but the amount of reviews that mention how thoughtful we are, how hospitable we are, without even, they just see these things and they notice. It's really great. All right, moving on to the next part of the home.
Let's do it. We are going into the bathroom. And again, 1 roll of toilet paper is not going to do it. Help them out. Help out your guest. So this is a place I would definitely have it up, obviously on the roll, and then wherever, whatever your bathroom is. Do you have it under the sink? Maybe you have a shelf. Maybe you have a TP holder. But equip them with enough TP, okay? Don't leave them in a lurch there.
And here's a little TFE pro tip. With all these quantities, decide what is appropriate for your property and then make that your brand standard. For example, at our properties, again, we're all 1 bed, 1 baths pretty much. So this would change for my larger properties. But we leave 1 roll out and ready to go. And then we leave 3 under the sink in easy reach from the commode. 3. So, and if a guest is staying longer, I might opt to leave them an extra one because I can, and I like being hospitable.
Right, and this depends on your property. It depends on the length of the stay. It depends on how many guests are going to be there.
But just let you know, and then that way, when my inspectors go in to inspect the property, they know to look for 1 that's ready to go, and 3 under the sink, and there's no questions about it. It's just that's what we do across all those types of properties.
Ooh, these next 2, we have number 8 is hand soap. And this is everywhere, okay? So this is in the bathrooms, this is in the kitchen. Anywhere there is a faucet inside, there needs to be hand soap and or either, hopefully, a hand towel, paper towels. But yes, definitely every sink fresh thing of hand soap. And don't let it get all the way pumped down to where they're just at the bottom. Make them feel like they're the first person using that hand soap each and every time.
Okay, number 9 is paper towels. We probably should have had this more in the kitchen section, but that's okay. You get it. So make sure we have a roll of paper towels that's out, ready to use, and we always have one backup that surprises and delights the heck out of our guests when they open up the cabinet and realize, wow, we left them an extra 75-cent roll of paper towels. And you also want to make sure, because I don't know that we have it in the next sections, like Annette said, you want to make sure that you're also providing, obviously, hand towels. But paper towels is essential. It's good for cleanups, too, throughout the property. If there's a spill, they have what they need. They don't have to use your nice hand towels to clean up a spill.
And again, this all goes on how many guests you have and how long their stay is.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this, especially when I'm staying places. You want to leave some basic cleaning supplies.
This is number 10.
Okay, and this 10 is actually kind of like a few in here.
Yeah.
We're kind of cheating, but the one thing we love always is a broom and a dustpan. Again, I don't know about you, but every single day, that's part of my process. It's probably from when I used to like serve tables and we had to do our side work. And so you would always sweep your section and wipe down the counter. So that's exactly what I do. I have to sweep my kitchen every day, and I know guests like to do that. Again, equipping them if they were to have a spill or something were break, you want that there. We also like to leave a multi-surface cleaner and maybe a microfiber, but they have those paper towels too. So again, when I'm doing my nightly side work, I can make sure I can do a basic kitchen or bathroom cleanup there. And then also we like to leave a vacuum in every property. And this is a TFE pro tip right here. We have a vacuum in all of our properties because we do not want our cleaners bringing in a vacuum from said other properties because you don't know where it's been, okay? So
it can bring insects that shall not be mentioned.
If it's at a property, yeah, you don't want your cleaner bringing their vacuum from another property. So we have every property. We'll put a link in the show notes of our favorite one that you can get on Amazon, inexpensive, and it is great. But having that vacuum too, not only for your guest if they need to do some cleanup, but it's there and ready and prepared for your cleaning team.
All right, number 11. Here's maybe a little bit of a one that might get you by surprise. We have a battery and bulb bin at all of our properties, and it's within guest reach. And it's not to suggest to the guest that we expect them to do the chore of changing a light bulb or a battery. We do check these items before they check in as part of our inspection process. If you want to know our inspection process, we have a video all about it. We'll link it in the show notes. It's long because it's literally like inspect with us, like over our shoulder, inspect with us. But people are loving it, so check it out.
Get your popcorn out.
Get your popcorn.
Sit down, watch it.
Get your
It's
blankie. But number 11 is bulb and battery bin. And what we do is we just have backup batteries, and I go through and make sure, do I need 9 volts in this property? Do I need AA's? Do I need AAA's? Like, what batteries do I need? And then the various bulbs that I might need for various lighting fixtures. And that's so that if it goes out during a longer stay, they can help themselves.
And it's helping you not to have to make a trip out to the property. And batteries, you might be thinking, well, what are the batteries for? So it's a multitude of things. So it might be for remote controls to your TV. Maybe you have fireplace, the ceiling fans. It could be actually to your smoke detectors. Heaven forbid that those started to beep while your guests were there. You could have, maybe your noise machine takes a battery versus being plugged in, but know what's in your house, what batteries you need, have those. Again, I know you're probably thinking all these things do they get stolen?
No.
Let's just
we wouldn't tell you if they got stolen all the time. We wouldn't set you up for failure.
Yeah, and the battery and bulb bin is in a nice plastic container in the kitchen, easy to access, but
it's labeled.
But they would never. Most guests, it just sits there untouched because they don't ever need to access this. But I'm telling you, it's great. A, for your guest, B, for your cleaning team, and most of all, for your inspector, the person going through your home before the guest, if they need to change it, they're equipped and ready to go right there. Yeah. All right. Number 12, if you have washer and dryer, equipping your guests with laundry detergent to be able to do their laundry while they're there. So this is something that, again, I've been places and they leave 1 or 2 pods or just a small container. Let them have at it. Let them do their dishes.
Let them eat cake.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out Mel Robbins' new book, Let Them, you should read it. We'll link that below too. But let them do their laundry, let them do the dishes, let them clean up after themselves. I think that's the key here, is really thinking about how your guests can have a better stay with equipping them with everything that they need. And these are just essentials. We have so many other things that we supply, our Forgot Something basket, amongst a plethora of other things, and we have all of that in other videos, but this is the stuff you've got to up level. You have to have this prepared for your guests, whether you're hosting 1 or 21.
Yeah, and I can tell you just over the years, there are things that I learned from experience, from other hosts, things I learned from my guest. And so we're making this video after 12 years of experience. And so I can let you know that after hosting potentially tens of thousands of people, that they don't steal these items. They leave it in the review, which then in turn bumps me on the algorithm. I don't care what platform I'm on, Airbnb, VRBO, Google, word of mouth. People love staying with us because we take such good care of them. We go above and beyond for them. And the financial commitment for these items is so nominal that it's more than pays for it. I think people get siloed in like expense and versus profit, and you don't realize that honestly, this stuff is it's part of your marketing budget.
It's part of your business. Imagine going to a hotel or a restaurant, anything commercial like that, and not having these items when you go to reach for them in the bathroom, or even like at the hotel in the living space. So please just remember that you have to supply these. Buy them in bulk. Please buy them in bulk. That's a way to really save money. And if you have any questions about it, leave it in the comments, or if you have something that you love to leave your guests that surprise and delights them above this essentials, we always like to hear about those.
Yeah, I love to continue to learn, like what am I not including that I need to. But with that, I am Sarah Karakayan.
I'm Annette Grant, and together we are
Thanks for visiting.